All right, let's talk about a company that's right at the center of the green energy revolution, Ivanhoe Mines. Now, they're not the ones making the flashy wind turbines or the sleek electric cars, but here's the thing. Without what they're pulling out of the ground, our electric future, well, it just wouldn't be possible. So let's dig in and find out why.
So, let's kick things off with a pretty simple question. When you look at all this amazing technology that's shaping our future, the EV that just drove past you, those giant wind farms spinning offshore, what's the one thing, the one absolutely essential ingredient that they all share? Yep, the answer is copper. This amazing red metal is pretty much the lifeblood of the entire green transition, and honestly, if you're talking about copper in today's world, you absolutely have to be talking about Ivanhoe Mines. To really get why this company is such a big deal, we need to get our heads around one single idea. It's something that gives Ivanhoe a massive, you could almost say an unfair, advantage. And it all boils down to a little something called ore grade. So what is ore grade anyway? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's just the concentration of the good stuff, the metal you actually want inside the rock you're digging up. Think about it like you're making orange juice. A high-grade orange is just packed with juice, right? A low-grade one is mostly piths and pulp. It's the same in mining. Higher grade means you get way more copper for every single truckload of rock you process. And when you look at the numbers here, wow, they are absolutely staggering. Your typical run-of-the-mill major copper mine, they're thrilled if they're working with rock that's about 0.5% copper. Ivanhoe's Kamoa-Kakula mine, on the other hand, is pulling out rock that's between 3 and 5% copper. I mean, that's not just a little better, it's in a completely different universe. And this all leads to some very simple and very powerful economics. See, when you have less waste rock to deal with, your costs to process everything plummet. In the industry, they call these C1 cash costs. It's basically the direct cost of getting the metal out. So this incredible high-grade advantage acts like a defensive moat, driving those costs way, way down and opening up the potential for truly massive profit margins. But here's the kicker. Ivanhoe isn't just a one-trick pony. The company is built on this incredible foundation of 3 world-class assets. Each one is an absolute powerhouse. Let's take a quick look at them. First up, you've got the crown jewel, Kamoa-Kakula, deep in the DRC. This thing is already the world's 3rd largest copper complex. And get this for scale, even when it was recovering from a major flood back in 2025, it still pumped out over 71,000 tons of copper in a single quarter. You know how much that is? That's enough copper to build nearly 1 million electric cars. That's what you call industrial scale resilience. Okay, next up is Kipushi, also in the DRC. But this one's different. It's not a copper mine, it's the world's highest grade zinc mine. This adds some really crucial diversification to their whole operation. And it's no slouch either, producing nearly 60,000 tons in the 3rd quarter of 2025 alone. And the 3rd pillar of this whole thing is Platreef, down in South Africa. This is a monster project with platinum group metals, nickel, copper, and gold all in one place. And this isn't some far-off promise we're talking about. The first production is literally scheduled to start this month. It's happening right now. Now, you'd think having 3 world-class mines would be enough, right? Well, Ivanhoe is also right in the middle of a huge operational shift that could unlock enormous value, and it's all about their brand new smelter. See, the old way of doing things was, well, expensive. Ivanhoe had to ship this heavy, bulky raw material, called concentrate, to other companies to get it processed. That meant paying high fees and giving up a slice of the profits. But now, with their own smelter, they can produce nearly pure copper blister. We're talking 99% pure, right there on site. This is huge. It means they keep the entire margin for themselves and can even make extra money selling byproducts. It's a total game changer. So just how big of a game changer are we talking? Well, how about this? This one project is expected to slash their transportation costs by more than 50%. That's a massive boost that goes straight to the bottom line, straight to cash flow. Of course, discoveries this big and engineering this brilliant, they don't just happen by accident. To really understand Ivanhoe, you have to understand the person who's steering the ship. And that person is Robert Friedland. As our source material points out, he's a polarizing figure for sure, but you just can't argue with his results. The man is a legendary mine finder, and it's gotten to the point where investors will often pay what they call a Friedland Premium just to bet on his vision. And you can see that vision laid out right here in this growth timeline. Sure, 2026 is a recovery year after the flood, but just look at 2027. That is the breakout. The target is over 500,000 tons of copper, and long-term, the goal is to push past 600,000 tons. That puts Ivanhoe squarely in the same league as the biggest, most established mining companies on the planet.
Okay, but let's take a breath for a second. No investment is a sure thing, and you better believe an opportunity this massive comes with some pretty significant challenges.
And it is absolutely crucial to understand what these are. First, there's jurisdiction. Operating in the Democratic Republic of Congo means dealing with a complex and sometimes unpredictable political landscape. Then there's geology. You know, you can do all the studies you want, but nature can still surprise you. That 2025 flood was a pretty tough reminder of the risks that are buried deep underground. And finally, there's the commodity price itself. At the end of the day, Ivanhoe's success is tied to the global price of copper, which can swing wildly and is definitely vulnerable if the global economy slows down. But when you put everything together, the high-grade ore, the tech, the growth, the leadership, the source material draws this really powerful parallel. It calls Ivanhoe the Tesla of mining. High tech, high growth, and all driven by a visionary founder. It's a pretty compelling way to think about it. And all of this leaves us with the big final question. With its incredible ore grades, its portfolio of world-class assets, and a game-changing new smelter, is Ivanhoe Mines showing us the blueprint for the future of mining? Or is it all just a massive high-stakes bet on one of the most volatile frontiers in the world? Well, that's the billion-dollar question that investors have to answer for themselves.